back. I'm Captain Xavier, and as I'm in the process of packing up for Survival Fest, I figured I would do a loadout video. I failed to do one for Maryland Mayhem, but then my loadout for Maryland Mayhem was fairly straightforward. 2 hammer shots and 2 pew-pews. That was it. I went with a light loadout for a variety of reasons. But Survival Fest, I'm going to go ahead and bring out the heavy guns. I may not end up using them, but I have a feeling I would be disappointed if I didn't at least bring them and give myself the option. So, Survival Fest does relish the fielding of super zombies. It requires special ammo, so that had some effect on my loadout. They also they sort of match your energy. So if you come with if you're a first-time player and you show up with a Maverick, they're gonna throw, you know, a hobbled zombie at you and have it chase you all day. If on the other hand you're a veteran player and you show up absolutely loaded for bear, they're gonna throw a bear at you, and I appreciate that. So I'm bringing a range of options to sort of decide how crazy I want to go. There's also always the risk of inclement weather, so I do have a non-electronic loadout. So we'll start with that. As per usual, I will be running an Alpha Trooper as my non-electronic primary, and I will be running a Hammer Shot as a sidearm. Because of the prevalence of super zombies, I will be running my Mega XL Chronos, as I believe Mega XL covers most of the specialty, if not all of the specialty zombies, and I'm going to be running my Chronos because, one, I really like it, but also because I have a holster for it. I'll be going over the tack gear later. I will also have a pair of throwables, and maybe some more if necessary. We shall see, but that will cover my lighter loadout. I might start with that. I might run that in Mission 0, or I might run the heavy in Mission 0 and then run light for the rest of the weekend to give myself a break. I haven't decided. We shall see. But on the electronic side, I have, once again, my usual heavy HVZ loadout. I've been trying to find blasters to swap these out for. I simply haven't found anything better yet. So this continues to be my heavy HVZ loadout. My primary being my semi-automatic full dart FDL3. I really like the semi-automatic because it's less complicated, less things to go wrong, and it is very, very reliable. This has never jammed so far in the field and gotten me tagged, and so it continues to be my go-to primary. I do have some new bells and whistles. I've got that rechargeable sight on there. I do have the Vutatu iron sights on there for various things. I do have a stock for it that also goes on the Alpha Trooper. Just solid blaster. Mounted on the side of it will be my modular Jupiter, so it'll go mounted here and be sidecar proton pack fed. I will be bringing a proton pack, though I am bringing a lower capacity one than I have in the past, but this is still also solid. And then I will have a pew-pew as a sidearm. With this, I will also still be running the Chronos, which is why I'm not running 2 pew-pews. I do need to continue to have that super zombie buster, so I will have the Rival on me, or the Mega XL on me, the whole time, regardless of what other loadout I choose to run. I do have the tack gear to be able to run just a pew-pew as my primary if I want to stick with something more powerful, but with a lighter loadout. The FDL3 and Proton Pack is not light. It is really quite heavy, and if I decide I need to go with something not quite so actually physically heavy, I can run the pew-pew and by itself with a less tack gear and a much lighter loadout. But once again, I will still have the Chronos. So, let's take a look at how I'm going to be carrying what I'm going to be carrying. Obviously, I won't be taking all of this at once, as my loadouts are inherently modular. But let's take a look at the tack gear. Alright, let's talk about tactical gear. We'll start with holsters. I have a 3D printed solid holster for the Hammer Shot and the Chronos. There still is not a better option that I am aware of. I've taken at least one of the Hammer Shot holsters and a Hammer Shot to pretty much every event I've been to since I got them, and I don't see that changing anytime soon. The Mega XL Chronos does still fit in the Chronos holster. I did have to make a few modifications to the blaster, and it doesn't fully lock in, but it locks in well enough that unless unless I'm doing cartwheels, which I'm not going to be doing, it doesn't fall out. So that is fabulous. I then also do have one of my holster thigh rigs for the Pew Pew. It's got extra magazine capacity, it's got extra battery capacity. It's quite lovely. All of these, of course, connect to the battle belt. I will be bringing my heavy battle belt because I'm running a heavy loadout. It has a couple of nice features. It does have additional holster mounts, though I probably won't need them. It does have a water bottle pouch. It's got the dump pouch. It's very nice. Now, if I want to run a light loadout, a Pew Pew only loadout, I do then have my Scared Bandolier with additional 4 magazines. Speaking of magazines, my primary runs Worker 22s, which we'll see go in the vest here in a minute. The Pew Pew will start with one of the 15-round banana mags, just so it's not sticking out quite so far when it's in the holster. If I'm going to be using it as a primary, or I'm going to end up reloading, I go to 18 round. I've got pouches on the thigh rig that fit the 18, and then of course the ones on the bandolier if I'm running that as the primary. Otherwise, if I get down to just these, pretty much in a corner at that point. If I'm running the FDL3, I will be wearing my vest. It's very nice. It's led a rough life, but it's holding in there. It has capacity for 12 22-round magazines, as well as either extra throwables or extra Mega XL on it. Couple of other things. It does have a camelback, as well as my radio pouch. It's got my radio. So, universal sling that will work either on the Alpha Trooper or the FDL3. So, that is all covered. The final piece, I don't know if this really qualifies as a blaster or tack gear, you decide, is of course the Proton Pack. This is in fact the actual pack. I have put a slightly smaller tank in it. I usually run a 2-gallon tank, so about 800 rounds, give or take, but I needed a little extra room in the trunk, and so I have downgraded to I think it's about a 1.5 gallon, give or take. So I think it's 500, 600 some odd rounds. Should be more than enough, I hope, if I'm going through that much Proton Pack round, that much rival. Things have gotten hairy, but I'm kind of hoping it comes down to that. So, that is it. And then the usual thing, I will have a Shemagh and iPro. That is going to be my loadout. I now get to try to fit all of this back into my trunk, which is a feat. So let's do that. There it is, all nicely packed in there. These 6-rounders are actually belong to someone else that I've been carrying for a while, so I'll finally get them back to their owner. Lid will close nicely, which is important. I will then close it additionally with a zip tie to keep it from bursting open, but TSA will still be able to get in and snoop if they feel the need. Now this trunk is quite handily the exact maximum dimensions that a checked luggage can be before it becomes oversized. So since I fly Alaska and I use my Alaska card, my first checked luggage is free. So even though I have this massive hard trunk, it doesn't cost me anything as long as it is under 50 pounds. And just to double check, I have my handy dandy hanging bow scale here, and we can double check. Oh, whoops. There we go. It is coming in at 45 pounds. So we are good. We even have a little bit of wiggle room, which is always nice, because you never know if their scales are gonna be accurate. Anyway, there we have it, my loadout for Survival Fest, and I'm looking forward to it. I'm hoping it's gonna be a good time. I've heard good stuff. I am kind of excited, and I hope to see you there. Bangarang!